are some excerpts from my autobiography in progress called Relentless, a series which I hope to finish sometime before I die. This is also part of a stage show I'm creating, which will be unlike anything seen before. I read a portion earlier to my publicist who said, "Great, but lighten it up." Sorry, I said I'm fresh out. Bodybuilding and relationships. I've come to the conclusion that very little of human behavior is based in logic. If I were to stand all my exes in a line, it would be like a police lineup. Not to say they all look like criminals, just the ones I really liked. After a breakup, I can dance on this edge. I think maybe if I train even harder, if I'm just a little leaner, suffer a little bit more, maybe I'll get what I want, who I want. It's not the answer, but I toy with it anyway. I must explore this. On the other side of that is the great challenge of bodybuilding, the art of sculpting, creating. I can be in the middle, both forces pulling me, negative and positive. In the end, the positive wins out, because in spite of my worst efforts, I'm still here. I had a vivid dream where I wrote these words. "I treated you like a king, but you didn't appreciate me." Then I crumpled the paper and burned the pen. I woke up in peace. Never mind, I'll find someone not like you. On a new day, redeemed and empowered after finally terminating a toxic business relationship. I kicked his punk ass to the curb, in other words. I made a semi-bold move, mind you, resulting in the best first date ever. Unplanned and perfect. A realization and confirmation of what I want, need, and deserve, never to go back again. Zen-like, I step into a new existence. I'd also recently come to the conclusion to no longer put seemingly non-productive things on hold, such as love, as a reward for success as I define it. As for that first date, I was and still am hypnotized by his Spanish accent. Delighted and hopelessly amused. I find his mispronunciations enchanting, more than he can imagine. It breaks my heart to correct his English, though I do at his request, but I selfishly beg him to keep saying things wrong just for me. It is like music, it is intoxicating. In short, the thicker the accent, the dumber I get. Serendipitously, before any of this, it became clear that it was time to fulfill a lifelong love and learn Spanish, so I started teaching myself. Like everything I'm compelled with passion to do, it is beyond a conscious decision. Things just come together in their perfect time. I'm undeniably drawn. I just don't question these things. The reasons will reveal themselves in time. I immerse myself in every possible way, and everything I need shows up. I'm frustrated I cannot just close myself off in a room until I learn to speak it perfectly and fully satisfy this Latin invasion in my head. Porque es que las palabras me fascinan tanto. Me encanta mucho. Everything just sounds better in Spanish. People say I'm obsessed, but I don't care. I need an obsession, or several. Somewhere to channel all this drive, or it turns back in on me. This passion takes me into different worlds of life, beautiful and terrible fantasies of being. How far can I go? How far can I stretch this one existence, this one incarnation? Can my spirit just not decide, or is it interminably restless? Or is it greediness or fear, or endless seeking for that perfect piece to the puzzle? Will satisfaction ever come? Will the end be welcomed or dread? What if the to-do list isn't completed? What if it is? What if it doesn't really exist? Whether I'm in front of the camera, ready to do a scene, or waiting for an audition, these thoughts come to mind. I have to remind myself to enjoy the experience. It's not just about crossing it off the list, or worrying if my hair is perfect. Am I pretty enough? Am I good enough? It was in this same way the decision to compete in bodybuilding again was made. Not consciously, and not just because I needed something else to agonize over. During competition preparation, there is always a point where I feel like I'm dying. My body, smaller, taking up less space, everything is simplified. All activities in the day and the night are in some way related to this one end, a process of elimination, simplifying. It is perfect, nothing left to chance. It is hypnotic, wonderful and dreadful must be surrendered because it is really impossible what is happening. It is too much. But to live this life in a way to test myself again and again, a price for greatness, to find comfort in discomfort, sacrifice, breaking through to another level of existing, again and again into something more, even bigger. The possibilities are too thrilling to surpass, and always make the pain worth it. Dieting changes everything. Going through the weeks, the days, the hours, perspective shifts all over the map. Imagine getting excited about the prospect of sugar-free Jell-O and almonds. Dreaming of food and making a list of restaurants to tackle post-competition. Then, of course, follows the inevitable depression. Middle of the night eating, suddenly thinking about food for no real reason. My mind fluctuates from one extreme to the next. Maybe one must train and diet like this for 117 days to understand. In the middle of all this, I still get sudden calls for auditions and gigs and somehow show up and function. Bodybuilding is full of paradox. On the day I'll feel my worst, I'll look my best. All insecurities come out while dieting. I'm only left with me. I tell myself not to fear the hunger, but embrace it. Think of the clear-headedness and insights that come. The time saved by not dwelling over meals, free from eating feelings, numbing, or sedating with unnecessary food. The fact is, I can never eat enough to really fix anything because the hunger is in my soul. Food just distracts from a heavy heart, provides that buffer for real feeling. But when I step into that terrifying faith, instead, everything is more real. The pendulum swings back into that direction, and I gain momentum and keep going forward, making this my mantra, my welcome obsession. Just on the edge of eating disordered, but not quite crossing that line. There's a powerful emptiness the hunger brings, a reward, and more to come. The leanness, the everything. A false happiness, perhaps, but I embrace it nonetheless. Never taking food for granted again, I value every grain of rice. Dropping the smallest piece of walnut on the gym floor, I'm semi-devastated by this. Prepping for my first competition, when food was still my master. Working as a new trainer in a big nightclub-like gym, new to LA, no car, no connections, nothing. Anxiety at an all-time high. In the one place I could escape, binging in a stall at 24-hour Fitness, just when I think I couldn't stand one more day like this. Full of dread, walking home in the July heat, passing temptation, one after the next, until I must give in because the pain is all-consuming, the endless hunger. Just lose 5 more pounds, then I'll be happy, says the lie. Boy, what I would give for a large pepperoni pizza. Much later, once and for all, I fire the slave driver within my mind, bent on my demise. How long will this life be? No one knows. I can't waste a single precious moment in self-destruction in any form, no matter how seductive or seemingly innocent. I'm done apologizing for who I am. I don't care if you're pleased or displeased. Why wait until the end to be who you are? This drive is not a choice. I'm compelled. It's who I am. I can't even tell you why. I only know I have to do these things, like master the piano at 6, write music, be all the things I am. Teach myself shorthand in order to write faster, save time, get more done, learn German, Spanish, many other things, and so many more to go. The most important decisions aren't made on a conscious level. I just know there's a reason. And remember to enjoy the experience, because I have no choice. I have to be me.